Hi there, I'm Mr. Fager, and today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at an app that I like to use called Explain Edu. This is something that is easily available to you as students, and you can download from your self-service app. So let me show you how to get started. Obviously, of course, you want to go to your self-service app, which hopefully you've already recognized by now. It's usually the block box that looks like it's made up of the primary colors. Now in this, we want to scroll down until we find Explain Edu, and it's going to be right there in the center. Now notice for me it already says reinstall. That's because I have it installed. For you it should say install. Now let me tell you why you want this app. It's already free to you as students. It's free to use, and we've already got the premium version, which is awesome. But you want to use it because it is highly versatile and allows you to edit documents, apps, I should say edit documents, images, and all sorts of other things. So that's awesome and useful to us in the field of education. So this is an app that you can use, which will be very helpful to you. Let me just say that without getting too redundant. So once we have it downloaded, hopefully you took a moment to pause the video, and if you didn't, you can do that now. But once you have that download, you'll see the Explain Edu app, which I have right down here, and I can open that up. Now, our purpose for this video is just to go through some of the basics to introduce you. Now, obviously, I'm used to using Explain Edu as an instructor, and I have quite a few projects here. More times than not, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start a new project. This will be times when you're working on notes at home on your own, or especially when you're working on a virtual warm-up or a homework assignment. Those are the two big ones, the warm-ups or the homework assignments. So for this, I'm going to click New Project. Notice that you can also join with a code, which we're not really going to do, or we can share and inspire. This will allow us to upload it to Google, the Google Drive, Gmail, maybe Canvas. That remains to be seen. What we can do, though, New Project, and we're just going to jump in. Notice that there's three different ones. There's a blank canvas, a template, and files. Now, the blank canvas is like a blackboard or a whiteboard. You can use either one. A template, something I like to use, will have all these different options open to us. I like to use Notepad. It's like something we're writing on. Some quick introductions for you. Once you're in your project, it's easy enough to edit and annotate. I know that I keep saying this. Well, what the heck do we mean? Well, let's start with the basics. Up at the top, you'll see your directions, kind of like where you can go. We've got a projects here, and we've also got Notepad 3. Now I'm going to click that down arrow, which opens up the project settings. Now in this case, I want to rename this because I don't want to keep it as project 3. I want to call this the Explain Edu intro, because that's really what this is. If you haven't seen Explain Edu before, this is the purpose to show you it. Now we can obviously quick save. We can change the camera frame options, save as a template, or revert changes. Those aren't as important as the project name being changed and the quick save. And there it goes, saving. Now from the top left, we've got all of our options available to us. The top one, very top one, allows us to insert different pictures, videos, browsers. Obviously, you can tell that. I can easily choose a file if I could find it. Notice that there's different places I can pull it from. Now, if I want to, I can easily pull a picture from my camera. So if I pick all recents, let's pick something that I love very much to laugh at, puns. And I have this pun here. It's easy to insert a picture just by clicking on it. Now it's going to bring you to this page. Once you have selected the picture or image that you want to insert, it'll bring you to this page where you can crop it, you can rotate it, and change it up. So in this case, most of the time you're just going to crop, and that would be this box-like image over here on the left. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually crop this. I'm going to start in the top left and drag until I have a box. So now you see the dots around creating my box, and this will tell me what the area is going to look like. So I'm going to hit apply, and that's actually going to crop it up for me. So there we go. And to insert the image into our slide, I'm just going to hit done. Now, On the button beneath the insert, there's also the finger click, the finger, which basically allows me to move this around all I want to. And from here, I can also use two fingers to also zoom in and zoom out on the picture, like so. So I can zoom in, I can zoom out as much as I want to. Now, suppose for some reason that we get this all crooked-like, and we aren't going to precisely be able to set it back. To be able to set this straight, we just need to double-click on our page, double-click on the picture, and that will snap it back to a straight up and down orientation. Now, I've been talking about the editing and annotation aspects of this. Where's that at? Let's do it. The third item down, or the second down from the insert, is the pen. Notice that this will have 5 colors pop up, as well as the dot, which is the size of your cursor. You've also got the opportunity to switch between a marker, a pencil, and you can also even use a ruler. We do actually have the use of a ruler in this, so this can be quite handy on especially math assignments if you're trying to graph. And the ruler, just to manipulate it, you need 2 fingers to be able to rotate it. Notice that it actually has the angle too. That's actually pretty cool. But really, that's not the point that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the writing. It's easy to change colors. If you want to change the color of your pencil, all you have to do is tap on that particular color tip. Now this will open up this menu. Now notice that there are 2 things at the top. There's stroke and there's fill. Stroke is the particular marker color that you want. So in this case, suppose that I want this green. Notice that the color of the pen is what changed, not the background. Now most of the times for background, I just want my fill to be nothing. I just want to see pencil. I haven't actually seen how well the fill works, although I've been using this for quite a while. I don't notice the fill if it does happen. And so if I wanted to go down and change each of these, I could do the same thing I just did. Make sure you notice the difference between fill and stroke, though. This is fill, which I don't want to be anything. Stroke is going to be this pink, kind of a pink. But when I go to write, I need to have my marker set, which I do. So then I'm just going to actually write something. In fact, I will write this. Can never be more redundant than that, can I? So writing here is easy. It's easy to do something like 2 plus 2. And if at any point in time I want to change the size of my font and make it big, because we want to know for sure that 2 plus 2 equals 4, we can do that. Now let's say, for instance, of course, you make a mistake. Another tool, of course, that we're going to need is the eraser, which is 2 beneath that pen. And just like the pen, there are different sizes of cursor that I can use. I want the biggest here because I want to erase my mistakes. Now notice that there's 3 levels of erase. The most basic or most recent erase is the top one. And that will allow me to erase the most recent thing I've written. If I wanted to go further, I would pick the second one. This will erase a lot more. But notice that it doesn't erase my picture. That's what the third one is for. You notice how it looks like an image that's being erased? That's what the third one is for. And I can easily erase pieces of my image, which I inserted. Make sure that you know which is which, because you don't want to accidentally erase your parts of your image and you can't get it back. Now, of course, if we wanted to go back, there is an undo button. Let me go ahead and highlight it. The undo button, or backwards, is down here. It actually looks like a U-turn arrow almost, only it's sideways. I can actually hit that, and it will undo the mistake that I just made. Really, these are some of the great tools to help you get started. Two other tools I want to talk about. Suppose you want to enter text. You just click the A, and you go to type. Notice that over here at the left, you've got color choices once again. And I think I'm going to keep it where it's at, except I want to have my stroke be yellow, because after all, blue and yellow are the colors of Elkhart High School. I'm kind of sad that you can't see this, but it's there. Elkhart High School. So it's an easy way to add text. And last but not least, suppose that you absolutely need to delete a whole thing. We can hit this X down here on the left-hand side towards the bottom. This X will allow me to highlight specific things that I would like to get rid of. Be careful with your clicking though, because you can easily delete multiple things at once, and that's not what we want. Make sure that you're careful, because if not, I could end up clicking the whole page just like I did. To undo, you just need to tap it again. Make sure that you are tapping and retapping just so that you are only deleting what you want to delete. Last but not least, the last thing I want to show you in this video is how to bring a document or a file from Canvas over to Explain Edu. So, now that I've showed you the basics, I'll go over to my Canvas course, and I'm going to go ahead. I got to move courses though, because this isn't the course we want. I'm going to go ahead and go into our Semester 2 course, and I'm going to go to Files, Virtual Warm-Up. The virtual warm-up is our very first thing that we're going to do that you need to turn in. If I want to take this over to Explain Edu, the process is actually simple. Do you see this box with the arrow coming out of it at the bottom? I'm going to click that. And that's going to show me all these places that I can share this to. Now slide the top over to the right until you find that Explain Edu icon and click it. That will bring us over to Explain Edu, and it will have several options for us. I always advise that you click separate slides. If there are multiple pages, this will allow us to separate those pages so that each one has its own slide. And then to get to the next one, I just click this arrow down here at the right, and I click the right arrow to get to the next page. And the editing and the annotating is there for you to do. Click the pen, and I can write, what's -10 plus 7? That's -3. But just remember to change the size of your cursor first. I hope you found this enlightening, and I hope you feel more than comfortable with working in Explain Edu as we get through this semester together. If you need to, I know that the question will come up to submit things. One thing you can do is actually zoom out on the page until you have the whole page and screenshot it. You can actually screenshot your page and Explain Edu. It will save to your folders, your photo folder on your iPad, and you can upload from there. So remember, if you have any questions about Explain Edu, you are more than welcome to bring them up in class or ask me via email. Until next time, I'm Mr. Fager.